You talked about how technology throughout history is disruptive and scary, and it does absolutely change the way our lives work. And I think we have to accept that depending on the technology, but some of those technologies change our brain, they change how we work. I remember just in my lifetime, I used to have a mind like a steel trap for phone numbers. You told me your phone number, I knew everybody's phone number, lists of phone numbers. And then I was one of the first people to get a Casio digital diary with 2K of memory. And I put all the phone numbers out of my head into the technology because I like technology. To this day, I know my phone number and my sister's phone number, and I can't remember anybody's phone number because my brain was like, you don't need it? I'm going to turn that function off. The question I'm asking is what facilities, what faculties are we going to lose because we're outsourcing to the AI? And my fear is that it's not just our memories, maybe that's acceptable, but rather there's going to be a decline in human skills and other really important things like ability to cope with stress and other things because we outsourced it to the machine. That's what I'm asking, which is what faculties are we going to lose because of the technology?
Well, the faculties are definitely going to change, but let me give you an example that I've been telling a bunch of the educators, university people, because it's a very common thing to say, hey, I'm going to, we're at the day of the GPT-5 launch. I'm not going to write an essay. I'm just going to have GPT-5 write the essay and I'm going to submit it and I'm not going to have to think or suffer or, stare at a blank page in order to do that.
Right.
Actually, in fact, I actually think our capabilities for training human beings is going to go way up because what's going to happen is examination is all going to happen by AI. And the examination will be like oral exams for PhDs. Like we all learn going through college, to say, hey, I can predict the 3 to 5 questions that are likely to be on the exam. I'll prepare for those. I prepare just enough to be able to answer those within a 3-hour period and get a good grade. And that's my competence level.
Right.
Now, what we're going to have in small n years, this might be 3, right? 2, could be 5, where literally the cost of examination is 0. And literally you can start taking the examination whenever you want. You could take it on day 2 of the class and take it on day 17 as well, and 23 and however you learn. And part of the reason why we reserve oral exams for PhDs is because it's the one that you have to, if you're really going to do it, you have to prep the whole area.
Yeah.
Like you have to be A to Z on it. And so what I think is actually going to happen is we're going to be able to calibrate what we set as a human society.
Yeah.
For which skills do we want? How do we want those examined? And how are people prepared? So I'm not a idiocracy believer here. I'm a no, this is our question of our choice about how we set this up. And actually, in fact, it's going to get a lot more rigorous.